Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Christine Hansen. I'm a product manager at Bright Pattern, and I'm really excited to share with you our newest feature, Remote Assist. We're also going to be going over the latest release 5.15, and then we'll have plenty of time for any questions or comments at the end. So let's get started on Remote Assist. Okay, so first of all, what is Remote Assist? It's a new feature that allows agents to view and control devices over the network. It's a native, lightweight application ran during an interaction. So it is native to Bright Pattern. It's not a third-party integration. It's something we've developed in-house. It's very lightweight. It's a very small application that does not need to be installed prior to starting the Remote Assist interaction. It can be ran right at that time. We currently support Windows and Mac. Mac is missing one feature due to their OS restraints, which is the chat inside of the Remote Assist session. You can still chat using web or SMS. And then we have iOS and Android coming soon, slightly limited there as well, just because of the security that's on mobile devices. We are only able to show the screen, not interact the same way we are on Windows. It also supports internal interactions, so it's not just agent to client, it's also agent to agent or agent to supervisor. And it supports other things as well, such as file transfer, copy paste, and sending key combinations. So where is Remote Assist useful? How is this going to help our customers? Primarily, it really makes a big difference for the ITSM help desk. So any industry that has a large enough IT support where their employees are calling in for different issues, whether it's troubleshooting their PC, they need a software installation or upgrade, or any kind of technical repairs that can be done remotely, we were giving them a tool for the ITSM agent to be able to complete these things without having to go actually to the physical computer and do them. Because of this, it's actually opening up more and more opportunities for remote and home office teams. So anytime that there is a person who is unavailable, if you have a remote team or hybrid environment, Remote Assist is a tool that's going to allow you to interact with those computers that are not on-prem. And this also allows for companies to take a more distributed staffing approach because of this remote capability. And again, there are some places that still have COVID restraints where they want to be able to minimize the amount of contact, the amount of in-person contact. Then a tool that allows them to do it from anywhere else is a great asset. Going beyond even the ITSM agent model, it's very useful also for customer support, where a customer could be facing technical product issues. So a company that has issued software or hardware needs to go through a troubleshooting process. This can also be done remotely to the customer's PC. And even if it's not a technical product, most companies have a website for ordering, for returns, checking on different statuses. And if a customer is experiencing problems or unfamiliar with the website, then this would definitely allow the agent to step in and be able to assist them directly. Finally, the other area that this is very useful is for advanced expert support. So during internal interactions, let's just say you have a more advanced agent than the other, they're able to start an internal chat and just kind of take over for a couple steps and be able to show someone who's new what's going on. It's very useful for supporting the training process. And if you have to assist a new hire, maybe during an actual interaction, you could have a more experienced agent assisting, watching, and then taking over as needed just to make sure that the customer is happy. So let's start taking a look at what Remote Assist actually looks like. And what we're looking at here is Agent Desktop as it would appear for the agent. And we can see that we have opened up a Remote Assist session on the client side. We're currently looking at the web page that appears when we initiate a Remote Assist session. And there's also some other things. Let's go ahead and zoom in on them. So on the left, we can see what the chat page looks like. And You'll want to take a look over here on the left where it says Remote Assist. This is a different type of chat interaction. Previously, we had chat for web chat and SMS for SMS messaging. And now there is Remote Assist, which supports a direct chat line between the agent and the Remote Assist session on the client side. Additionally, there is a monitor icon right next to it, and this is how the agent will be able to initiate a Remote Assist session through chat. Phone is supported as well. We'll take a look at a little bit about what that looks like as well. So an agent is able to still generate a Remote Assist session even over the phone, and then be able to read off those the important details for the user to assist them. And we can see that a little bit over on the right, where we have a session pin in a URL. So if the customer were to enter this URL, even if they heard it over the phone, then they would be directed to a Remote Assist session to begin. And then we can kind of take a look at what that looks like for the agent, or excuse me, for the user side, the client side. This is zoomed in quite a bit because it's a very small, lightweight application. But you'll see that they have icons to be able to transfer files over from the from their device to the agent. And there are icons as well for the agent to be able to transfer over to the user as well. They can also stop sharing, and they can also start chatting inside of this window. So from here, let's go ahead and take a look at a demonstration of these different things. So starting off with, what we're going to do is take a look at a remote desktop session we have. So here we are. This is a different machine than the one I was just on for our agent. And let's say that this particular user is trying to set up their VPN, and that's something they're just not familiar with. They haven't had to do it before, and they're stuck, and they're going to contact their IT service desk. Just with a chat that's been integrated into their webpage, it goes through Bright Pattern and is able to reach out and get a hold of an agent. I need help with my VPN. Right, so they're going to initiate the interaction, and then the agent is going to accept it. Let me just come out of here. Great. So here we have our agent is assisting Sarah Smith and says, I need help with my VPN. Right, so we're going to switch from chat over to Remote Assist. For the agent, nothing really changes. Oh, we have to initiate it first. Sorry. So here we're able to initiate the Remote Assist session using this icon. And we're going to send the details over to our user. Go back to their machine and take a look. So the link has been sent from the agent. And here's how easy the process is. It just has to click on it. Now, if that hasn't been downloaded yet, then we can download it right here where we join the Remote Assist session. This machine currently has it. So we're just going to open up the Remote Assist client. And we're going to confirm that we want to share our screen and input. Great, and it's begun. It's that easy. So let's take a look at what this looks like over for the agent again. And we're going to maximize the screen here. And now we're looking and interacting with the customer device. We'll just minimize their web browser. We're not going to be using that. What we do know we need to do is help them with their VPN. And since we know that it is, using VPN requires elevated privileges, that's one of the features that we have with Remote Assist. If the current user that's logged in is not an administrator on their system, but the agent has admin credentials, they can go over here and they can click the Elevate button. And what that's going to do is going to allow us to enter in the credentials of an administrator to be able to do more advanced operations. Great. I'll elevate that session. Now, there is a reason why everything just went white, which is because in order to elevate the session, it does require the current user to agree to that, right? We didn't want anyone to just be able to go in and elevate permissions. It does require someone on the other end to accept that. We will say yes. We will come back. And then just because we were using a RDP session, this is not, would not be necessary unless, except that is RDP. We'll log in one more time. Great. And as you can see, we still have the remote assist session. We've elevated the the credentials for this particular session, and now we can go ahead and assist them with their VPN needs. Go ahead and minimize that. Great. So we also can send keys. This is useful for things like Control-Alt-Delete, but we'll send this one to be able to bring up the Windows menu. And then we'll look for the command prompt where we're going to configure the VPN. We'll run it as an administrator. That's what we wanted to do. Click yes. Great. So now we have an administrator version running of the command prompt. And we're going to go ahead and set this up for them. In order to be able to set up their VPN, though, there's a config file. And we can use this transfer files button over here to send the config file over to the remote system. So we'll do that real quick. I think it's this one. Transfer complete. And over here on the client side, it says that it has been downloaded. Do you want to open up the folder? We'll say yes, we'll take a look, and there's our config file. So by now, the agent has already been able to elevate the credentials needed, send over the necessary file, and now they can finish setting up the VPN. And I'm just going to do a little bit of typing here, if you don't mind. It's going to bring up our VPN command, bin, open, tab. Great, and then we will get just make sure I'm typing everything correctly. Christine. Now this part is probably not the most exciting, but usually when you're working on a command prompt, it rarely is, and that's why we definitely like to be able to have an ITSM agent to go ahead and assist us with these kinds of things. Right, so here's our file. And it's starting to run. We're starting to set up OpenVPN for this client. We just need to enter in the username to finish. My name is all over the place with this demonstration. That's okay. And we'll set up the password. Now, if the password was just known to the agent, they'd be able to use this sync clipboard functionality and be able to send it over. So let's take a, we can do it that way. We actually have it already open here on this machine, so we can just copy paste from here, which means I could also send it back over to the agent. That won't be necessary for this. We'll enter it. Great. And now the connection has been initiated. This customer has, or this client has their VPN set up, and they were able to watch how it was done while the agent did it. The agent was able to do it very quickly and effortlessly. If there was anything else that they needed, they could again continue. But this should be everything. So we'll go ahead and leave the session, close the maximize window, and say thank you, and be done. Great. So that's what it looks like for chat. I did say I was going to show you really quick what a phone interaction would kind of look like when that comes up. Let me go ahead and dial that number. So that gets accepted. As you can see, the same remote assist icon appears now for the agent during a phone interaction. And when they click it, they can get the information from here to read off for a customer. And that's how it would work for phone as well. Great. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, so one of the great parts about this being a native application, not a third-party integration, is that this is going to show up now in our activity histories. So things, and it's going to include different information like the time and the IP address. So when it comes to looking at different types of interactions that our agents are performing, then this is going to be something that's going to show up there. And it's very useful information to be able to provide for our customers. Going over some of the requirements on the agent side, you do need a minimum bandwidth of 512 KB. And we are sending over commands and the screen. That's going to take a little bit, but there are no hardware requirements to be able to run this. Concurrent third-party remote assist software is not supported. Let me explain exactly what that means. Let's say that you had a third-party remote assist application such as LogMeIn. You are not able to provide both the bright pattern and the LogMeIn for the same agent at the same time. You can configure the system so that some agents use one and some agents use the other, but they cannot be ran at the same time for the same agent. And as far as browser requirements for the agent, it would require Chrome 91, Microsoft Edge 85 and later, Mozilla Firefox 70, or Safari 1013 and later. Over on the client side, again, minimum bandwidth of 512 KB. We said it was a very lightweight application. It does require 2.3 megs of disk space. And if you didn't have that much, you probably contacted your ITSM agent a little while back. Very lightweight, but it does require a small amount of disk space. Again, no hardware requirements, but for the operating system, we support Windows 7, both 32 and 64-bit or newer. I read wrong. Windows 7 or newer, 32 and 64-bit, up to Windows 11. Windows Server 2008 R2 or newer, Mac OS 1013. And then when we do have the mobile OSs available, it'll be for iOS 12 and up and Android 24. So that's everything that we have for Remote Assist. Remote Assist is also coming with the latest version of Contact Center, version 5.15. Remote Assist specifically is a add-on feature that if you're interested, you definitely want to go ahead and contact your Bright Pattern sales representative, because this is something that we are pricing at, as an add-on, and it's definitely worth it because it works very, very well and it integrates nicely into the Bright Pattern system. Go ahead and contact them. But everyone is getting upgraded this week to 5.15. And let's go over a few of the improvements that we put inside of here. First of all, the case search view is now customizable. So the different categories that we show when we perform a case search can be added or removed, and they will automatically slide over left or right depending on how much space is needed for that. So that's useful to be able to decide what information you want for your case searching. Additionally, there's a change to the way that email header info in our threads is going to appear. Previously, it was just the from and date information, similar to how I think Gmail does it. We're going to add to CC and the subject, which is a little bit more about what you might see from something like Outlook. So that's getting added for email threads. Additionally, if you are adding users, if you're CCing people in the middle of a conversation, activity history is now going to show the recipients that are added in later on. So it's not just the original recipients. If people get added into a thread, they will also show up in the activity history. And we've also made the behavior of opening up a case consistent. So depending on how and when a case was opened, some of the behavior was slightly different. So we've standardized that. And just to explain what the behavior is now is that If you don't have an unsent draft, then the subject gets copied with the RE prefix. If the last email was inbound, the sender's address is copied to the to field. If the last email was outbound, the address of the first recipient is copied to the to field. And then there is no change if it's open from another agent and an unsent draft from the same agent is opened the same way it was before when it was closed. Also, for sending reports, the compression is now optional. So if you want to be able to send your report uncompressed for whatever reason, this is something that is supported. Great. So I really appreciate everyone's time today. We looked at Remote Assist, how it helps different organizations, how easy it is to use. It's a very powerful tool. We're very excited about it, as well as all of our enhancements that are inside of 5.15. At this time, if there are any questions or comments, feel free to enter them in. I'll be glad to take them. Some of the questions that were from the morning session that I just wanted to go over. So for example, we did mention the availability is based on your particular agreement with Bright Pattern. Contact sales for the more information to be able to add this. Another question was, would it be able to survive a reboot? And that was a very good question because, you know, if you're installing software, updating drivers, things like this, then you might have to reboot the system. In this current version, we do not support keeping a session open across a reboot, but it is something that we are looking into and will be upcoming for later versions of Remote Assist. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions or comments at this time. Again, I appreciate everyone's time today. I hope this has been very exciting and informative. A copy of today's presentation will go out to everyone who, regardless of whether they were or were not here, along with the slide deck. So you guys have that information if you want to look back at it. Oh, I see one more chat. Thanks. Oh, well, thank you. No, it really means a lot when everyone says that. So I'm glad it was useful. And if there are no other questions or comments, then I wish everyone a good rest of their day or evening and look forward to future webinars with everyone again. Thank you.